Righty, Roo. What's up, YouTube? Hello, everyone. Welcome in. Today we are starting and eventually finishing our last character from our, obviously, main characters in D2R single player. And that is going to be my assassin. Before I do that, let me just show you. So my first character that I ever leveled obviously was a sorceress. She's level 93 now. Then I believe I did a paladin. That would be my second right here, level 88. He's geared up for some Ubers right now. Then I remember my favorite character when I was a kid was a Necro. That was my third character that I leveled up through Hell. Then I realized I never even made a barbarian in a long time, so I made a barbarian. I got him through Hell earlier this week, or I don't know, maybe last week. Well, definitely last week. Yeah. I leveled up my first Amazon all the way through Hell, and just recently I leveled up my first Druid all the way through Hell, level 82. And what is left is our Assassin. Now, my Assassin and all the characters that I just listed, besides my Barbarian, which was never even created yet, all of them I leveled up to roughly level 50, and I only completed normal on them. This was before I started streaming. So my apologies for that. I didn't even, foresee this happening, but I already got, some nice gear and stuff like that for them, and I gave them nice names that I wanted. So I didn't want to start all over. So what we're going to be doing is starting off in a Nightmare. Now, normal is kind of like a whatever kind of difficulty, right? It's basically you're starting kind of difficulty for new players. It's just shows you the ropes of the game, right? But nothing is too crazy difficult. The first maybe bigger difficult thing that you come across maybe is Travancore, the Trav members. Maybe it's Diablo, because he is a little bit scary in the Chaos Sanctuary. And then I would say, if anything, it's the Ancients. But on normal, they barely have any immunities or attributes that are very dangerous. And then obviously Bale is a tanky boy. But what you guys can do in normal before you go on this journey with me through Nightmare and Hell is get yourself a whole bunch of runes from the Countess, because she could drop up to a Ral in normal. So you guys can make yourself like an armor of stealth. So that's Tal F. You can make yourself, and this is for any character, by the way, but for the assassin as well, you could build yourself an Allure, which is Ort Soul. Now you would have to be a little lucky to drop that soul, so actually scratch that. Forget about the lore. Make yourself a stealth. Farm some normal and Dariel, I guess, to get yourself some Hasaris boots, Hasaris belt, get some faster run walk, some resistances. Or maybe Saigons. Maybe you like Saigons. Farm yourself some normal Mephisto for some Saigons. What else would I say? And yeah, just gather up some runes so that when you go to Nightmare, which we will do shortly, over there, the Countess in Act 1 drops all the way up to an Io rune, which is pretty darn high. Which can help you make a whole bunch more gear once we finish Act 1, obviously. But just get yourself some simple stuff, maybe some set pieces, like I said, Hasaris, belt and boots are a nice combination. Saigons has some nice bonuses. Stealth obviously is kind of the go-to. It has the faster run walk and the faster hit recovery and faster cast rate, so it's just an all-around great armor. You could also farm in normal. You could farm the Cow King once you have killed Bale, and try to get the elusive but incredibly good Death's Sash and Death's Gloves. The Cow King is notorious for having a high drop chance of those set items, and yes, it might take you, 20, 30 runs, but you don't have to kill all the cows. Just find the Cow King, kill him, and hopefully you guys get those 2 pieces, and I'll show you what they do in a second. But they give you cannot be frozen and attack speed when coupled together. What does this do? Well, for our assassin, all of our trap laying is based on attack speed, not faster cast rate. Also, what is based on attack speed? Well, whether or not you're frozen or chilled. So being frozen or chilled lowers your attack speed and therefore lowering your trap laying speed. So we want a cannot be frozen source somewhere, and getting a Death Sash, which I understand is just a regular sash, which only gives you 8 potion slots. You can upgrade that using, if I'm not mistaken, a Tal Shale, which a shale can be found in Nightmare, and a Perfect Diamond to make it a Demon Hide Sash, which gives you the full 16 potion slots. And with the gloves, it gives 30 increased attack speed, which is huge. The only other bonuses that give 30 increased attack speed are the Saigons and possibly the Immortal King set, but I'm not so sure about that. Saigons and Deaths, incredible. All right, farm yourself that. What else would you be missing? A helm? Guess what? You could buy a 2 open socket helm and put some rail runes or a rail and an ort. It doesn't really matter. You can also get yourself, I don't know, just a nice unique helm. There's plenty, like Dusk Deep gives you 15 all res. So farm a little bit in normal. It's not too much, and you might be asking, how did you get to level 50 in normal? That's kind of overkill, right? And it is overkill. But I'd rather be, over leveled than under leveled. And what I ended up doing was, I think I did Eldritch until like level 35 to 40 on players 8. And then I did Terrorized Zones. And Terrorized Zones actually quite efficiently get you to like 45. Because if I'm not mistaken, the Terror Zone cap in normal is maybe 41. And if you're like within the range of 5 levels from monsters, they give good experience still. So you could get to like 45, 46. Now you don't have to. You could go into Nightmare at level 40. I wouldn't really go before then, because why? It's better to have more skill points from all your levels, because obviously any caster or trap layer or things like that heavily relies on plus to skills rather than like damage off of a weapon, right? Like a melee class. So that's that. And I'll show you, I already used my socket quest, and I already did my imbue and all that good stuff. And I'll show you, I have not touched Nightmare yet. And pretty much I got this 50, I think, from doing, Terrorized Zones and then farming that Cow King for the Elusive Deaths combo. So let me show you what we're working with. You should be able to accomplish the gear that I am rocking. There are a few hand-me-downs, that is true, and I will show you which ones, but if I'm not mistaken, these hand-me-downs are easily obtainable very early on in Nightmare, and I believe all in Act 1, or mostly the majority of the time. Because what does Nightmare Act 1, uncover for us? Nightmare Countess, which drops up to an IO rune, and I'll show you what I'm talking about, why this is so great. And Nightmare Andariel is a huge step up when it comes to the loot pool and the drops that she can give us. Alright, we're at the 10-minute mark, so let's start our kind of introduction to our character per se. Let's go to the HD graphics. Let's see what our situation looks like. We're level 50. We have just enough strength, which I usually, because I'm 50, I have enough life to sustain myself, right? In normal. I usually go up to 60 or 70 base, just so that I could wear the highest tier boots from normal, which are level 70 required, and then the highest tier gloves are level 60 required. And you could get some nice rare gloves and boots if you don't want to do like the set combos. Give me 1 second here. Sorry about that. I kind of realized I needed to do something really quickly there. My apologies. Dexterity. I did put some points in here, and I will figure out why in just a second. Oh, I know why. Because since trapling is based on attack speed, and we want to, maximize that to hit our breakpoints, the fastest weapon, which a lot of people, hint, hint, go for spirit very soon. The fastest weapon for a spirit, attack speed wise, which normally on a caster does not care for the attack speed, but we do. We do like the skills from spirit. We don't necessarily use the faster cast rate, but we do use the plus to skills on top with the vitality and mana. But we want the fastest attack speed, which would be in a long sword, which has a dexterity of more than your base dexterity that you get from starting the character. And the rest went into vitality. No points into energy, of course. Our resistance is in Nightmare, which, by the way, let me show you. Where's my quest log? Jesus, I don't even know where my stuff is on here. Right here, quest log is completely empty. I have not seen any of the maps. I don't have any waypoints, just so that you guys, don't think that I've pre-farmed anything. I think I only talked to Wariv and maybe Charcy. Yeah, she's not talking to me about anything. Geed, good day to you, partner, as well. Let's see what Akara's up to. Yes, Akara, thank you for giving us our first quest here. But anyways, our resistances in Nightmare with the 40 penalty are good. Again, I do have a bunch of hand-me-down gear and charms, but if you don't, it's not the end of the world. This is not a make or break, and I never have any high tier or high level things, because for one, I don't even have the high level stuff myself, even on my high level characters. This is somewhat of a new account. It's an old account, but somewhat of a new kind of endeavor that I'm going through on single player. I never really played single player that much on this account. Back in LOD days, I'm sure did, but in D2R not so much yet. So I managed to farm some gear using my sorceress, obviously. Our res are looking pretty good. We're slightly capped over on lightning and poison. We're around 85, 82. And let's take a look here before I show my gear. What is notable here? We have 131 magic find, 60 increased attack speed, 125 faster run walk, huge, and cannot be frozen. Okay. Let's look at our skill tree. We are a fire trap assassin, and that is, I think, the best way to go throughout normal. It is nice and simple, and I'll show you why. But nothing in the martial arts tree. Here I put 1 point wonders into everything, with the exception of 3 points into burst of speed, and that is only for now. Later on we will probably only need a 1 point wonder in this as well. But why do I do this? A lot of people opt out not to go for the 1 point wonders, but I do. and people sometimes even put 1 into Fade just for the off chance that they need the resistances, right? But I go through this because what if I want to dual wield? I'll get some block. But mostly I do it for the Shadow Master. I know the Shadow Master isn't like the Amazon's Valkyrie, which is such a tank and such a good summon. It's not like a Druid Bear, like, you know, the Summon Grizzly skill. And it's not like as tanky as like you know, decked out, for example, fully synergized Necromancer, right? But it is something to take the mob's eyes off of Hazade, the mob's eyes off of me, so that they're occupied while I'm setting my traps. And I like this. Then, what else is great? By the way, Shadow Warrior is also fine. They are pretty much the same, besides Shadow Warrior only copies and mimics you and your skills, while the Shadow Master kind of does his own thing, and he pretty much has all the skills that you have, or she. Cloak of Shadows is very nice. People even use this for Ubers. This is if you get into a very deadly, tight situation. And so is Mind Blast. Now, Mind Blast uses faster cast rate frames instead of attack speed frames. So some faster cast rate is nice, but it's not necessary. And the reason for this being so powerful is that 24% chance to convert. And the stun is nice too. But the conversion is huge. If you're in a pickle, you can convert a few mobs, and the other mobs get distracted by them. This is fantastic. And now for our main thing, look at this. This is as simple as it gets. We literally, in the very beginning, started putting points into Fire Blast. Also, first putting some 3 points into here. Once we put 3 points here, we went back to traps. Once we hit 12, we literally, from 12, put every single point into Wake of Fire, besides putting 1 point into here as we leveled up. So we maxed Wake of Fire. That was our first max. Then we maxed Fire Blast. And finally, we are maxing, we are putting the rest of our points into Wake of Inferno. Now why? Because our main skill that we use is Wake of Fire, which has only 2 synergies, Fire Blast and Wake of Inferno. Wake of Inferno, unfortunately, is a little lackluster because it does like damage over time, technically. See, like the average damage per second. And it misses if mobs are, you know, running around because it's trying to get to them, but by the time, you know, it turns around to like, you know, blow, because it's kind of like an Inferno. Yeah, it's like literally an Inferno, like the Inferno skill from the Sorceress, but like in a trap form. So by the time it rotates and does its thing, this is just not that good. I prefer just maxing Fire Blast out first because you could cast it with your left click while laying some with the right click here. And it does good damage. These are both maxed. The only other possible max is going to be here. And if we want, we would max some of these things for the synergies here. But yeah, why would I do that? I am not going to be going Fire Trap Assassin all the way through hell, actually, because unfortunately, unlike the Druid, which the Druid has way more synergies and way more power, Wake of Fire just isn't as good. Just in general, the Fire Trap Assassin kind of falls off in hell and even towards the end of Nightmare. So we will be switching over to a Lightning Trap Assassin eventually, but that will come later. And finally, before we get anywhere else, let's go over the gear. So, I was a stickler for Magic Finding. This was a great character normal to Magic Finding with, alongside with the Druid, because they are very heavily AoE oriented, and you kind of just click and you could run away. So, I am rocking a Gold Dagger, which is findable in normal, obviously. I am rocking Sanders Gloves for the 20 increased attack speed with some life. This is also farmable in normal. And also, let's see, a Night Smoke for some all res, and damage taken goes to mana, and also some mana. I'm I have some random rings just for res because I am low on my fire in general. But this has some lightning and fire, fire and poison. I found a tutor traps amulet with some poison res. It really sucks for everything else, but the tutor traps is nice. Obviously, you can go with any unique or rare amulet that you find with all res, magic find, yada yada. So this is all in normal. You could find this in normal, this in normal, this, and this, including this. Now let's see. This I'm pretty sure you could also get in normal. I found this nice. I might have gambled it actually on my Sork. But its level required 31, so it's not a, you know, like crazy high nightmare, or it is, you know, it does require some levels to gamble something like this, but you don't have to be over 50. But don't worry, we could solve our +1 to skills problem shortly by getting a lore. And I don't even have a, so this, all of this besides the armor, the shield, and the boots are farmable in normal. The armor, I handed down myself a hustle, which gives us so much faster run walk, and more importantly, 40% increased attack speed. It also gives some evade and 10 all res. Next, remember how I was saying that cannot be frozen is very important? Well, we are getting it from the rhyme, and you will be able to get it very shortly as well. It only costs a shale and an eth, which the nightmare countess can drop, and it gives you 25 all res and cannot be frozen along with 25 magic find, which is great. And finally, another, by the way, this you can cube up to a co, farming the countess. You could cube up like 2 IOs to get, let me see what's after IO. To get a lum, and then 2 lums to make a co. So eventually you can do this, even in, what's it called? Even in normal. Sorry, even in nightmare. But you probably will find a co just somewhere randomly, to be honest with you as well. And you also need a shale, right? You could also get 3 open socket armor in normal or nightmare. By the way, yeah, the armor types, everything is farmable on normal. And last but not least, what else? Oh yeah, and the boots. So this is a nightmare item. These are mesh boots. But I chose to have these for the faster run walk. They have a low level requirement of 25, which is weird. But mesh boots themselves, like the item quality doesn't drop until nightmare. But do you need these? No, you do not. You can shop great boots. Even right here, once you enter Act 1, you don't even need to, you know, find the next waypoint. All you need is to find a map that has the top left exit or the top right exit. Top left is, I think, closer. And all you gotta do is go to Charcy, look for some boots and for some gloves, by the way. You should be looking for both of those things, and belts. And look at what you're gonna do. You're gonna go outside, enter back in, and the shop is...
What you need?
What? What is the shop? It is reset. That's correct. Wow, look at this. 2 to martial arts. You could find 20 increased attack speed gloves if you don't find any uniques or set. Which, by the way, a few of them have 20 increased attack speed. You could find faster run walk boots with even a secondary mod. So like faster run walk and a res, faster run walk and magic find. You could get res and magic find, whatever you want. You could get awesome light belts. Look at this, 97 to life. If this was a sharkskin belt, which would give me 16 potion slots, I would consider getting it and just dropping 10 all res and 20 mana. Because 100 to life is huge. Oh, look at this, a sharkskin belt, which gives full 16 slots, 57 life. So you can do this over and over, literally in Act 1 Nightmare, before even attacking a single enemy.
Good to see.
All you have to do is reset your map enough times to get the top left exit and literally just shop. So this is nothing special. By the way, it just has dual res, but they're not even super high, anything like that. You could also use, like I said earlier, normal level stuff like Hasaris, Hasaris boots and belt, or Saigon's boots and belt and gloves. Yeah, that's a great three-piece combo if you are not going for the Death's belt. Oh yeah, which by the way we have to talk about that. Because right now I have Cannot Be Frozen from my Rhyme. And by the way, so don't worry about this. You could just drop this somewhere in Nightmare later on, you know. But what else do I have in my stash? So what was I rocking earlier? I was rocking Gold Wrap, which you can find in normal. From I think normal Mephisto, you could get one. You could shop yourselves again. Look at this. You could shop yourselves gloves like this. Obviously, they cannot be rare, but look what I found here. This was, I think, in Hell though on another character, because I don't know if we could roll this high like in Act 1 Nightmare. But you could find yourself great gloves, like things like this, in the vendor at Charcy. Boots we don't have much of, but you can find boots like this. Look, require level 29, require level 27. This one's a little higher. War Trevs you will not be able to find yet. No. Hey, Tancred's boots and amulet gives you a bunch of magic find, right? But this is what I'm talking about. Death's Guard. It has an inherent cannot be frozen, and when paired up with the gloves, it gives 30 increased attack speed. So before Rhyme, that is your earliest cannot be frozen source. Now, however, in Nightmare, you will start to drop 3 open socket helmets. What do I mean by that? Things like this. Just 3 open sockets. And why did I say that Io, specifically the Io rune that the Countess can drop in Nightmare, is super important? Because of the new addition of these helms that Blizzard gave. There's one for each element, and every single time it starts off with Shale and Io, and the ending rune determines what helmet turns out to be. So, for example, if you put in a Tal, it becomes a poison-oriented helmet, which gives you Cleansing Aura. Great, great, great for being cursed and knocking that curse off. That's, for example, what that is for, right? If you put a Soul, so Shale Isle Soul, you get a Bulwark, which, by the way, this is what my mercenary is wearing. Bulwark. It is for the Life Leech, 5% life stolen. It rolls from 4 to 6, so this is mediocre here. You give some vitality, max life, damage reduction by 7, and then a huge, but this one rolled poorly, 10 to 15% physical damage reduced, which is huge for a mercenary. So this is your number one goal. Things like farming the Countess, getting your IOs, finding a 3 open socket helm is going to be your goal. He is also wearing a shaft stop, which is probably handed down from Nightmare. Yeah, because I don't think you could drop this until like maybe Nightmare Mephisto. And he has an insight, which is going to be another one of your goals, is to farm Countess until you have enough souls, shales, IOs, all those other nice runes to make yourself an insight for your mercenary. Which again, you have options of mercenaries, but we'll talk about that another time. I went with the Act 2 mercenary, a prayer, truly heals us and himself. And for the mana regen for insight, which is great. Again, 4 open socket polearms start dropping in Nightmare Act 1. Same thing with 3 open socket helmets, helms. And 4 open socket like swords and stuff for spirit. So if you didn't use your large request, don't worry, you will be able to eventually find one here. So shafts off for the damage reduction, obviously, in the life. This is extra damage reduction, but he needs some life leech and an insight just for the thing. Now this is a exceptional base. You will start finding exceptional bases, but if you find a regular base, that's fine too. He's not there necessarily for the damage, he's there for utility, right? And just as long as he could survive. Oh, there's like a little lag spike there. Anyways, what else? What do I plan on using soon, and what you should be using? So, Gold Dagger is kind of not your go-to. You should actually be tossing this out, or you shouldn't even have this, okay? You should be using some kind of, you know, claw or whatever. Or like an all-red, like whatever you find you could be using, right? Because chances of you actually finding a gold dagger are very low, to be honest with you. This is kind of a rare item, even though it's very low level. But yeah, so what should you be aiming for? Whoops, a spirit. Talthal or Am, which again, all of those runes are findable in the Countess. So look for 4 open-socketed long swords specifically, okay? Long swords specifically to get the fastest attacking 4 base socket weapon. Broadswords and crystal swords are slower, unfortunately. And then when we switched to lightning traps, I also handed myself down a crescent moon, also made in a longsword. And the main reason for this is the minus 35% to enemy lightning resist. We are not physically going to be attacking with this weapon at all, so all of that other stuff kind of doesn't matter. But the minus enemy res, lightning enemy res is kind of huge. And then I have just, you know, these are pretty much from my grail, just things that I have found that I put it on here, but I'm just using this basic stuff, okay? I'm probably never gonna switch over to this stuff. Maybe gloves? Maybe. Yeah. Also, I have a Spirit Monarch, which is a hell item. But if you farmed it previously with a different character, you can hand it down to yourself. And this will activate. We will have to respec, which is free on single player as long as you enable it. We will respec to put this on, so we're gonna, you know, lose a lot of strength to make this happen. But when we lose that cannot be frozen, our option is either a hand-me-down, where is it? A hand-me-down Ravenfrost, or, like I said, a not hand-me-down Death's Guard. So I highly recommend you farm this, even if it takes forever. Just farm this set with the gloves. I don't have the gloves in the shared stash here, but the Death's Guard and the Death's gloves, okay? That combination is amazing. And actually, I really should do that combination, to be very, very honest with you guys. Yeah, I think I should do that. I just need to find another set of gloves for it. I wonder if another character of mine has it. I'm pretty sure my Barbarian has it, but he needs it because he's also a melee character. Yeah, I might do that to get the IS. And we will look at the breakpoints as we go. And then charms, this, again, pre-farmed, but it's not activated yet. This I have in my inventory when we go lightning and we're 75. I found a random shadow disciplines, and then some mana charms, some life charms. That's pretty much it. I have nothing else. So, without further ado, let's go to Players 8 because we are strong. And we should be able to do this fairly easily. So, by the way, what do? We Burst of Speed up. Shadow Master. We have Mind Blast with like set just in case we need to Mind Blast. And we could, by the way, Mind Blast all the time just for funsies. And here's our main thing, Wake of Fire. So we lay 5 traps down. Not necessarily always 5. We could lay like 2 or 3. Keep walking, 2 and 3. And for like bosses and single targets, we have Fire Blast here, which never leaves our side. And also, before I forget, the switch. You need to farm yourself a teleport staff in normal so that you can teleport out of tight situations. So let's go. Let's do our thing, right?
They'll never see me coming.
They'll never see me coming, I know. Players 8, let's see how this does. Okay, Players 8 is a little slow. Okay, so it's not as fast as I thought it would be. But it's good. Let's do Players 7 just so that we can get the drops, but slightly less life. How about that? But you guys can easily, with the Trap Assassin, do Players 3. That is a no-brainer. Even if you're not level 50, even if you're level 40. Okay. I mean, this is quite fast, actually. By the way, you do not need keys as an assassin, if you didn't know. Assassins naturally will open any locked chests and stuff like that. By the way, anything that you get from Act 1, at least early on, like this, has the potential to get open sockets. So if you have a Ral and Am rune and a Ral rune and an Am rune and a perfect amethyst, you could use that and kind of gamble the amount of, like, whether or not, oh, look at that, see, an Ort rune just dropped. You can gamble on your ability to get 4 sockets for your insight. Okay, let's put a TP down and find the waypoint and then come back. And we are just so fast with bursts of speed. We are just incredibly fast. Always check shrines, by the way. That's why I have this. In case there's a gem shrine, you can upgrade your flawless amethysts to perfect ones and just keep them on the back burner for when you want to, you know, attempt to get a certain amount of sockets on an item, or to craft an amulet, or to craft a belt, both for the faster cash rate ones. What did I want? Oh yeah, that's it. I just got the waypoint. Let's go and do quest 1. By the way, the assassin is so fast. The intro, even though it's 30 minutes long, is gonna be like a breeze. We're gonna go through this so fast, it's crazy. Also, we have Cloak of Shadows. Black gold. Hey, that's gold. Now, by the way, if you cannot, which you cannot, like, get this, for example, yet, right? Just put on a stealth on him, or any nice rare armor. If you could find a armor that has some, you know, nice res. Oh, sorry, like that has life leech. So there's only a few unique armors, but you can find them in normal. Like there's a unique plate mail that gives life leech. So if you manage to find that, he'll have some life leech there. Also, you know what? Give me a second. I think I'm getting a phone call. 1 second. Oh gosh, I am incredibly sorry, guys. I know it's been a few minutes, but what I didn't realize is that the doggo was left inside, and I can't hear her. But she was whining she needed to go outside, so I had to let her out. Whew, I'm a little winded even from that. My bad, I apologize. But it needs to be done. This is Garbaggio. Let's continue. This is nice and easy, so don't worry about any of this. Is that a dead end, or what is over there? Oh wait. I'll just keep going. Halberg. This is a 4 open socket possibility. Oh yeah, we have to go back into that little cranny. Yeah, let's do that before we go forward. I don't know if we killed everybody here. Oh, I guess we did. Alright, but look how fast you are. Even without a hustle, you're going to be fast because of burst of speed. Okay. By the way, how did I get these? I pretty much just kept cubing regular rejuves that I got on my Eldritch runs in normal. Oh, and by the way, did I mention that? Yeah, you should farm a bunch of players, a Eldritch, a bunch of Terror Zone, get yourself to at least 40, but mid 40s, you doing Terror Zones is very good. Hey, what's up, Project Z? How are you, my man? Broadsword, pick it up. No 4 open sockets, but if need be, you can find it. Scepter, money, no money. Alright. How you doing, Project Z? And talk to Akara, and there we go. First quest is completed, and we keep going for Wake of Inferno to keep maxing it out. Alright, also let's sell some of this.
Order welcomes you.
There we go. We don't need this, but we do like runes.
Greetings.
All right.
Welcome, my.
I'm good, my man. I'm good. Or my lady, whoever you are. I'm good. I'm good. How are you? I decided to level up all of my main characters on single player before the summer ends and school for the kids start up again. So this is my last character, and but the first stream of her at level 50, starting Nightmare. There we go. Pick that up always. And let's just follow the yellow brick road, the yellow brick road, the yellow brick road. Or yellow dirt road, or brown dirt road. Grand Charm. What, this guy fire enchanted? Oh, fire enchanted, yeah. Yeah, the plate mail, by the way, unique version, has some life leech. Very nice. Playing a paladin at the moment, doing a thorn build. Ooh.
Lies buried here.
Bold choice, my friend. Bold choice. Are you still in normal? Or possibly Nightmare? Kill Blood Raven, if I only knew where she was. There she is. Thorns is very good in normal. And even in Nightmare, I think. And there's actually different ways of getting it. You could actually do a Thorns Necro while not using your own Thorns aura. Have you ever heard of the rune word edge? You could give that to an Act 1 mercenary. Oh wait, no, you could get an Act 2 mercenary with thorns, or you could give an edge rune word to an Act 1 mercenary, get thorns, and then use, like, I don't know, Holy Fire, or Holy Freeze, or Holy Shock. Maybe not Holy Freeze, because you actually want the enemies to hit you. But you could go with things like that, and, like, make a combination, you know? Let's check if this is for open socket. Hey, look at that. You're an Act 1 Nightmare, you're dilly-dallying, killing Blood Raven, and boom, you have your insight base. Right off the bat. And FYI, if you want to find more gray/white items, like bases, consider taking off any magic find you have. That actually does increase your chances of finding the white and gray items, because instead of them dropping blue, like, or yellow, or gold, or green, right, for all the different qualities, they'll just drop white or gray or socketed. But tell me more about your paladin, man, if you don't mind. But just like listening and watching. I don't mind silence either. But I am interested where you're at. If you're in normal, if you're in nightmare, maybe you're already in hell and actually going full thorns there. But thorns in hell, you would have to need to theorcraft a little bit more, I think, because it becomes a little underwhelming, if I'm not mistaken. Again, I haven't personally done it, but I've seen people do it, and it is a little bit underwhelming in hell, because the damage return, like the scale of the life pool of monsters compared to the damage output that they provide, and you know, then like the actual percent damage return rate is just not a good ratio. So in hell, if I'm not mistaken, and it just takes forever for mobs to kill themselves. And in the process, they're literally killing you. So you cannot keep up with the potion and with the potion buying and stuff like that, which is kind of interesting, you know. But normal is great. Excuse me. And then nightmare is actually pretty good too. I don't know what I'm doing here, Lily lagging. But let's put that away. This could eventually be made an insight for an iron golem, right? Why not? Let's see what these guys are. Hey, look at that. Kind of good for low levels only, but that's an interesting find. That is a no-go. Yes, yes. Alright, also check this. Look at this. Oh, 3 open socket. But you know what you should save this for? Save this for your eventual crescent moon. If you don't mind dropping the skills and the mana and life from spirit, crescent moon is the way to go for lightning builds once you turn into a lightning trap assassin. Also, you should be checking, whoops, where is that? Cedar bows, because if you happen to find one with 4 open sockets before finding a polearm with 4 open sockets, and let's say you're just completely unlucky with polearms, unlucky, then you could put insight in a bow now and give it to an Act 1 mercenary, you know, and you're good to go. Helps out a bunch. Let's check this one. No. Helps out a bunch with your mana regen, and just insight itself gives a lot of damage, enhanced damage. It gives critical strike, which is technically like deadly strike, which doubles your damage, a chance to double your damage. It's very good. Also, what else are we looking for? Great helms. Any helms to find 3 open sockets for the new helms that they gave in the I don't know whenever patch that was, but this is a Diablo 2 Resurrected only kind of thing. 1 socket, unfortunate. Hey, look at that. 4 open socket composite bow. Obviously, I'm not going to use it, but if you guys I'm telling you, keep checking all the bows, all the pole arms, and all the helms. You're looking for a 3 open socket helm for one of the new rune words. You could get cannot be frozen using getting hearth. So Shale, Io, Thul. Thul is for the cold. That's going to be your second quickest cannot be frozen source. Or actually your third. The easiest one is the belt, Death's Guard. Second is a Rhyme Shield, and third is the hearth. Unless if you get Hawk Mail, which is farmable in normal, the unique scale mail that has cannot be frozen. That's a great armor. It has increased attack speed as well. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that guy. It's like that green scale armor unique. Very very useful early on. If you could get it from normal Mephisto, then you're golden. You could take that armor all the way through hell if you want. But you would probably eventually prefer things like Hustle or Treachery, which is actually your own your own armor. It's an assassin armor, right? But you have to kind of get lucky with the Lem for that. But Hustle is doable in Nightmare. Okay, we got our waypoints, so let's go to the Dark Wood. Hey, nice skills. Let's resummon our Shadow Master. Is this the underground? Wait, what is this? Underground passage. Crown. Check that as well. 2 sockets. If you find a 2 socket, that's also useful. So you can find a 3 socket for the new rune words for like your mercenary and for yourself if you need. Or you can find 2 socket and make yourself a lore, which is Ort and Soul. And that gives you +2/1 skills, so you don't even need something like a circlet or whatever. And it'll probably be an upgrade. It has 30 lightning res, 1 to all skills, and 7 damage reduction. Just physical damage reduction 7, the number 7. So that's always helpful. I think it gives some mana after each kill, stuff like that. And shields, what should you be rocking from normal? You could make yourself an Ancient's Pledge, Ral or Tal. You could shop a shield in Act 2 of normal, get 3 open sockets there. Where are we going? Are we literally going all the way around here? So you have to go straight. Straight. No. Yeah, I had a feeling it's going to be up there. Here's where our teleport staff is nice. Wow, we are zooming, man. We have the zoomies. Okay, keep going straight from the entrance. Should be right here. Very nice. Hello, you little fallen camp. Hello, second fallen camp. Wow, so many enemies. This is player 7, by the way, guys. We are smoking everything. Longsword. No 4 open sockets. Again, we have one, but I just want to prove to you how easily it is to find spirit bases, insight bases, lore bases. Well, lore base you should actually have from normal. You should just buy a cap and take it over from normal to Nightmare. Buy it in Act 1 of normal at Charcy. But the 3 open socket for the new rune words like Hearth, Bulwark, Cure, Ground, right? All those things are very good. So we already found an insight base in a bow. We found a crescent moon base and a longsword. Okay, let's see this again. 2 open sockets. Unfortunate. Hey, 7 fire res? Is that what we need? 7 fire res. Very nice. That's what I'm talking about. Fuel. Yeah, 72. Very nice. We need that. Alright, hello, Treehead. There we go. Oh wait, you need to get the freaking scroll. What am I doing?
How is this
Get the scroll and get the
train escaped
waypoint.
corruption?
Okay. Thank you for buffing yourself, Shadow Master. Oh. Whoops. I think I outrun arrows that are shot. Here's our waypoint. There we go. Alright, let's talk to Akara, and let's go back to the Stony Field to rescue our beloved Cain. Where is he? He's up here.
And
Oh. Yes, he is. Okay. Ah. Alright, let's read the scroll. Whoops. There. Alright, let's go rescue Cain. Chunk jewel, but we'll use it for crafting.
Tristram,
Ah.
first to fall to Diablo's wrath. Cain, go to the road camp.
Yeah. Yeah, it is nice to play like an old Diablo game, right? But that it's new again, right? But now I just need a Sacred Remastered / Resurrected. Yeah, yeah. Oh, trust me, man. With technology, who knows what they're gonna do? Who knows what's gonna happen?
Impossible.
Oh yeah, let's check this real quick. Look at this. Let's see. Ah, no. Might as well kill some packs since we're here. Spectral hit and magic resistant always increases monsters' res, so they will, you know, take a little bit longer to kill. See? Just drop down a few traps, and then after that, throw your own. Hey, thank you. That is nice. Also, partisan. Boom. Ah, could have been 4 open sockets. That is a nightmare base, by the way. Very nice. Okay, let's go talk to Cain. I mean, he should be thankful. Yeah, as a token of my gratitude. Yeah, thanks. You better ID my stuff, my man. You better. There we go. You could keep that for later if you need. Also, we kind of don't need this. I don't want this in there. That's for jewels. Also. There we go. Alright. Let's talk to Akara and get a ring. Let's get a triple res 10 FCR with Magic Find Ring. Ready? Boom. And it's nothing what I said it was going to be. I guess for melee it's something. For a melee character. But not for us. Stock up on your stuff. Oh, and you'll notice when your burst of speed runs out, which only lasts roughly like 2 and some change, 2 minutes and some change. You'll notice the difference. By the way, you should already be rocking this. Did I mention that? You should be rocking a spirit. You're going to be doing more damage, be even faster, have more mana, have more life. Just go with the spirit. Don't be like me and use a dagger, you know? Don't be like that.
When I
Okay, also, every time you look at that, you could just buy gloves like this. They have 20 IAS. Okay, every time I go repair, I check the shops. You'd be surprised how great some of the stuff you find actually are. Alright, what's next on the list? What's next on the list is the Countess. So this is the big thing that I was talking about. We want to find a waypoint that is going to be somewhat close. This is not a deal breaker because the assassin is so fast. It doesn't really matter because look at the speed that I'm running at right now, right? But you want to find a relatively close waypoint to tower combination. And then hopefully your tower is somewhat good too, somewhat decent when it comes to map quickness and turnoffs, so that you can farm the Countess over and over and get all of the runes your heart desires. And I'll demonstrate that. Hopefully we have a semi-decent map. Okay, so this whole side of the map here, no waypoint, no tower, which is good. That means that, you know, we've managed to not find anything for like half the map already. See, and you don't even have to mind glass. People might say that that was a waste to go down here, but I don't think so. I'm already going down here for the Shadow Master, so might as well put that extra point in here. And this is just a lifesaver sometimes. So I don't know what people are about when they want to save all their skill points and just, oh, that's I guess money, and just like go only what's necessary, nothing outside of that scope. I kind of think that's kind of hopeless. 1 second again. Alright, here's our tower. But first let's go find our waypoint. Hopefully, and the waypoint cannot be on the road either, by the way, so it has to be off the road path. Can't be by camps. Oh, this is not looking great. Here's a super chest. Small charm. Don't mind if I do. Give me that lovely, lovely res small charms. Okay, that's our exit. So beautiful. See, this is a completely decent waypoint to tower situation, right? It's not across a river. You have a shrine on the way. If you want to check it, you have a super chest. Should we even just go higher? Who cares? It seems like we're doing fine. Or players. Yeah, let's go. Who cares? /players 8. Any good? No good. Any good? No good. Aw. At least it gives us somewhat of a challenge, right? So we're not bored. Oh, that's also money. Spirit of Barbs. Okay, this is nice. By the way, I didn't explain, but for the tower, for Countess, it's always to the left, to the left. So to the left of entering. For example, let me demonstrate. If you take a look at my map here that I'm standing on, we entered to the bottom right. So if you position your assassin this way, and you start walking down this corridor, she is walking to the bottom right. If you make a left with her body, so her body will turn left this way, your exit to the next level will be to the left, which is going to be top right. I don't know if you knew that, Project Z. I'll just call you Z for short. But yeah, every single level of the Tower Cellar is to the left, to the left. So that's what I like to call it. And it might be, you know, it might like jolt off this way, so that's to the right, but then eventually it'll straighten out and then go to the left. So it might not be immediate, but look at our beautiful maps. Immediate left turns. Beautiful. Okay, this is a super chest. Nothing good here. To the left. Let's just go to the left and see. Can we get it right away? Super chest. Ring. Hey! We did it! This map is beautiful. I might not even want to go into hell. Just because I'm going to be losing this map. Just from Nightmare Countess forever. Nah, just kidding. Hell is even better. If you could get a nice Hell Countess map. Ooh, beautiful. Aw, cursed. To the left, to the left. Boom, beautiful. Wow, very lucky maps. Very nice. Okay, let's grab some gold. Be greedy, be greedy. Pop that, pop that. By the way, these two racks are always going to be here, depending on the map you get. They're either going to be on this side or this side. And they always give one weapon, one armor. Check them. You never know. You can drop a 4 open socket helm, or sorry, a 4 open socket polearm or sword, or you could drop a 3 open socket helm. You know, it's very good. Yeah, it's either going to be on this side or this side. Now, before we kill the Countess, we are going to drop down to players 1. So we spawn her on players 8, so she'll give us experience for players 8. We're going to go down for players 1 to maximize our rune drops. She has a special table, obviously, as we all know, which benefits her from actually the no drop chance thing. Hey, look at that. Hell or Thal. We always are looking for hells so we could keep re-rolling gear. Right? Keep re-rolling the rolls on our rune words. Very nice. And we go back up to players 8. There we go.
Greetings.
Hello.
Yes,
Well,
yes.
The Sisterhood
Okay,
welcomes
Kasha,
you.
thank you, thank you. The Sisterhood, I'm sure, is very grateful. No good on the ring slots. Go
What can I
check
do for
Charcy,
you?
repair your gear. Let's take a look. 20 IS, 14 MF. I always check the gold. Like these are not gold; these are like dark. But the gold / dark yellow colored items. Oh, also that gets sold.
Greetings.
14K. Let's take a guess. How much will this be? This will be 12K? No, more. This will be the full 30K. Ah, close. Red is for life and fire res. Look at that. Not bad. For low level, look at this. Level 18. You could give this to a mercenary at level 18. Woo! Better than stealth. You know? Very, very nice. It's almost like a trophy thing to show. I don't know how high those can roll at level 18 without like going over, but it is nice. Quest completed. Alright. And off to the races we go. We're back on players 8. And now, this is where you should just reset. Oh, superior poleaxe. Let's check it. Hey, 4 open socket. Look at that. You have 2 insight bases now. One for an Act 1 mercenary on a bow, and one for your Act 2 mercenary in a polearm. How easy was that, right? You walk more than run on your paladin. Yeah, well, that's for if you want to be on the safer side, right? And you want to just enjoy. Yeah, this is like you know, this is way too fast for you then. If you're used to walking, whoo, this is like lightning speed, right?
Such corruption in this place.
But actually, interesting fact. So, if you're that Thorns, right? Hard to chat sometimes, no pause in game. Yeah, exactly. Oh, you're playing as well? Oh, nice. But listen to this. So I'm actually going to kind of tell you something that will blow your mind, and you might consider starting to run, actually. So what happens when you run is your defense drops to 0. Let me demonstrate. Oh, wait. I have to go to the new graphics. You cannot see this on the old graphics. So let me show you. Look what happens when you're running. Your defense drops to 0, which actually means that the mobs will be able to hit you more. And yes, that means you're going to lose more life. If you block, however, you won't, which is a good thing, and they'll still hit you. But that will allow them to hit you more, which then in turn deals more damage to them because you're using thorns. So walking is actually not a good thing for when you use thorns. Running is actually better. Isn't that funny? You're on console and I even walk slower. Yeah. I guess console is like a little different story, right? Because you have to control differently than I would on a PC. But that is a fun fact, so please consider changing your ways, Z. You have to get used to running so that you're actually more efficient that way. You know? What is your main skill that you use? Zeal? And by the way, you could keep playing. Don't worry. I don't think that, you're running away or anything like that. I could just keep rambling on by myself. Anyways, we have the statue here, so we're going to go past the statue to our location. Old man eyes, yeah, mine are too, man. You're good, Z. You're good. Also, if you have the time real quick, H catching up on me. Yeah, I know. I guess that's why you prefer the walking too, man. We're old men now. So we prefer walking in games instead of... By the way, this is a nice location to show off that Mind Blast. So because I got swarmed there, right? No, I'm doing talk all good. Yeah. I got swarmed there, so I decided to use that Mind Blast. But yeah, what I was gonna ask you, if you have time to type it in, because I don't know how you're gonna answer this question. But how did you come across this live stream? That is my question. Because I don't even know how people find YouTube live streams, to be honest with you. Unless if someone's popular and you already subscribe to them because of watching a video of theirs or whatnot. How did you find this? Yeah, it's way more immersive. For sure. Walking is because you're going through the game how it's intended to be gone through, kind of slower, at a slower pace. This game is 25 years old, man. Came out in 2000, and that's the way that it used to be back in the day. And I like that. Yeah. I sometimes, just walk myself. Look at that. Ooh, yeah. Even walking is fast on the Assassin, though. I guess Paladin has Vigor, the Vigor aura. That helps you walk a little faster. Check out this nice helm that I got. 1 NATO with 2 open sockets, so you can make yourself a lore if you're a druid. Oh, nothing there. Oh, nice. But the question is, what did you type in? Because this is YouTube. I'm not going crazy. Yeah, this is not Twitch. Right? So when I stream on Twitch, I'm under a category of Diablo 2, which is easy for people to find, right? Let's say there's like 100 people streaming at the time. You just scroll through and find whoever you want to watch. But for YouTube, how does that make sense? Like, how do you actually find me? Like, if you've never heard my name before, how would you know where to... Or unless if someone recommended it to you, you know? Like, hey, by the way, watch Sir Jables, right? How do you find something like this? Or do you, like, search into the YouTube search bar, like, Diablo 2 Live or something? Like, what do you search for? I know it's funny because the streamer, like, I'm asking you. Yeah, they hit you, they die. Yeah, exactly. On normal, yes, that is exactly what happens. But yeah, if you don't mind me asking, I'm a noob when it comes to actually understanding how the other side of this works. Oh, there's a live button? I guess I never noticed. I watch YouTube all the time, but I don't actually like go to the categories. I just use suggested videos to find new people, you know? But I don't like search for anybody necessarily when I'm on YouTube. And I already have like the channels that I watch all the time. Oh, that's interesting. So you go to Diablo 2 and then hit the live button. Oh, wow. Okay, okay. Oh my gosh, we did not get the... Z, what are you doing to me, man? Because we were chatting, I never picked up the malice. And that's what I came here for.
Go to Charcy.
I blame you, Z. Oh my goodness. Good one, good one. Thankfully we're fast.
Try and cage me, demons.
Yeah, try and cage me, demons. You're right. You're right, assassin. Alright, this one to the left for the waypoint. And then from the waypoint to the left. Wow, what is this, an empty jail? I guess there were no criminals in Sanctuary. Haha. Wow, what is going on? Okay, we found some criminals. They're in the jails. Hey, level up. Very nice. And vitality? And more maxing. So where are we? Our third maxed synergy is going to be Wake of Inferno. Oh, we slowed down a little bit. Got to recast our burst of speed. Alright. These guys look like the policemen. Go, men. Get out of here. Scythe? Would we be lucky for another base? Hey! 2 bases! Got him. Yeah, let's put those away. They're useful for iron golems and necromancers.
Good evening.
We're using up so much space for those guys. Those things. Yeah, we don't need this, by the way. That. And let's turn in the malice. There you go, Charcy. Let's look for some cool stuff. No cool stuff. It's okay. Let's go back for that scythe or that poleaxe. And also, just out of curiosity, let's identify the sabre. Excuse me. Sabre is the skewer of Crintes. Interesting. The skewer of Crintes. Well, it does have a very fast attack speed for the assassin, but I would not use this for anything because we are not a melee character. Oh, what am I doing? Straight across, straight across. Why don't I? Whoa! Look at this cheeky little drop. Now this would be helpful for an assassin, or for you too, Z. This thing right here, Blood Fist. Do you see what I just got right here, my man? It's the baby version of Sanders. This requires 28, but this you could find early on. Look at this bad boy. Also gives 40 life, and as a bonus, it gives 30% faster hit recovery. But you lose the 20 IAS. Now, before we end the stream, actually, we're not going to end yet, obviously. But before we go, you guys have to remind me. We have to look up the attack speed breakpoints for laying traps. Because I don't want to be pointlessly buffing attack speed if we're not hitting the next breakpoint at all. So, you know, work smarter, not harder and pointlessly. You know what I mean? Do some research before going on endeavors like that, because you know you just might be wasting time or wasting like slots that you could be using for Magic Find, for example, right? And level 3 is going to be to the left or like the back door kind of. Oh, I guess no back door here. Lots of weapon racks. I like it all up close and personal. That is right. Where are we here? Oh, not here either. Okay. We'll check another left side. Nice. Yeah. Emerald. Is this money? And here it is, as promised. Cool. Yeah, we need to research a little bit before we make stupid choices. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? That's money.
Yes?
Actually, we should do that now. We should do this right now. However, I'm not going to screen capture this. I'm going to just look this up, and I'll tell you guys the breakpoints are. Let's see. D to R, assassin, trap, laying, speed breakpoints. Let's see what it says here. Okay. Alright, assassin trap laying IAS calculator. Main hand, what do we have here? In the main hand we have a dagger, which by the way is a fast thing. Dagger. Wait. Oh yeah, weapon. There we go. Dagger, where are you? Yeah, dagger has a minus 20 attack speed, like calculations. The attack speed on the hand is nothing. Gear, alright. Oh, by the way, so let's see. So normally, we have no other bonuses. So let's see. Our attack speed breakpoints, we start at 13 frames, and we have 5, 16, 35, or 63. Ooh. So we have either a 35 breakpoint, and what do we have? Or a 63. Ooh. Okay, hold on. Let's go to our new graphics. Let's see what our attack speed is. 60. Wow. So we're actually 3 off from hitting the next breakpoint. Yikes. So this is actually completely useless, to be honest, right? We need 30 IAS somewhere. Unless if we get IAS from the belt. Hey, we do. We do get it from the belt. Good idea, Jables. Good idea, Jables. Let's do that then. Yeah, I don't even know why I'm wearing a nice smoke, to be honest with you. I should be wearing this. We lose some res. But we're still okay. And now we're at 70, so we should be good. Now, if you are wearing a long sword, let's see what the long sword says, because that's what I'm recommending here, right? Let's look at what I'm looking at. Long sword, where are you? Long sword is negative 10 IAS. Or sorry, the negative 10 attack speed kind of weapon. So let's see. You're at the longsword rate. Your attack speed breakpoints would be 30, 54. So let's just count that as 55. 30, 55, and 90. Ooh. So 30 is accomplishable by 20 here and a gold wrap, or 20 here and like an armor that gives 25. Or like I said, a hustle. The only other sources are what? Like a cat's eye. You could get it on a unique. I know that for sure. You could get this on a hawkmail, for example. So with a long sword, your breakers are 30 and 55. So with a hustle and 20 IAS, you actually hit the 55. But now remember, there's a deaths combo that gives you 30 IAS. So with 30 IAS, which we have by using our belt and this, you actually could hit, oh no, yeah, you would hit the 30 IAS one. And then 55 needs 30 more from somewhere. So yeah, you would need like a hustle or a cat's eye. Or like the studded leather unique, the one that Twitch throw, I believe. Yeah, he has 25% IAS, so maybe you could reach it there. Yeah, what is this? 25 plus 30 is 55. Boom, that hits you to the next one as well. But we have 70 now, so we should be good. Hey, good thing that we've noticed this. Anyways, I don't need blood fists, so I'm gonna unfortunately chuck them on the ground here, just so that they look nice, I guess. Oh wait, I'm kind of stupid. Wait, we're not done here. Wait, let's put this back on. Sorry guys, I misled you. New thing, because I forgot about burst of speed. We are level 5. So let's see, you put in your burst of speed level. Wait, dagger. Oh. Wait, you don't need any. What the heck? Well, you need 16. Is this really it? Huh. Dagger is even faster. What the heck? Sorry this is taking a little longer, but 2.5 attacks. Wait, no, but I want something. Let me see this. This is weird. Huh. Yeah, I don't know. Wow, it's kind of because it seems a little bit. Sorry, I'm not even looking at the chat actually for any of this. It seems a little bit weird. Let's see, what did you say so far? I'm sorry, Z. Um, so I take it you didn't care for D4 as well. Such a loot hog in these types of games. Dude, I'm such a loot hog myself. And I also just love research. Like, I love to know the back story, the background behind, you know, how things work and how we can make things efficient about them. But what was I going to say? Actually, yeah, let's put Magic Time back on. I don't know why we took it off to begin with. 161. Yeah, I tried Diablo 4, I'm not gonna lie. So I bought it, obviously. I tried it. By the way, where did we come from? The heck? I bought it, I tried it. I actually leveled. This was before I think level 100 was available. I think this was like when level 70 was the cap or something like that. I forget. I tried it, and I think they did the game a little dirty. I don't want to like smack talk because it is a game. You know, it's not a horrible game, but they kept like changing things and like some things were like, why weren't they there to begin with? And then like you had like this whole mindset of how things were gonna work, and then boom, they just like threw a wrench in the mix, and then you have to like rethink how you like, you know, spec your character. You had to rethink which gear pieces were like good or bad. I don't know, they just started changing so much. And by the way, they barely gave you any room for what's it called? For loot, dude. You know how much loot there was in that game? Or like different types that were equally possibly good? A bunch. Because you could re-roll, remember that? Ooh, Ethereal Halberd. This is a normal weapon base, but at Ethereal, it's not bad. It's not too shabby. If you want to take it, you know, for a gamble in the cube, Ral, Am, Perfect Amethyst, and hopefully get 4 open sockets, this would be nice. But I will not be doing that. There we go. Yeah, did you try D4?
I don't like it down here.
You don't like it down here? Come on now. Imperial. Come on, Ratman. I love the Ratmen. They're so funny. Maybe something else dropped. Or I'm going crazy. Oh, like the ones that are always online? Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. Oh yeah, thank goodness that D4, or sorry, D2 is like you could choose which way to play, right? You could play on single player or you could play online. I like that about like the older games in general. You know, new games are kind of like either or, but not both a lot of times. So yeah. D3 was the last one. Oh yeah, I kind of enjoyed D3. But I also kind of took the path less taken. My favorite character was the Witch Doctor, which I think was like the weakest in like most of the iterations of D3, like because yeah, sometimes they made some balance changes and updates, right? But in most of the iterations, it was the worst character, and that was my favorite character. And I only played the Witch Doctor. I literally did not play any other class. I played every class once, but after I played with them, I'm like, I'm not gonna do that. Yeah, me too, man. I used to when I was younger play a lot more BattleNet because I thought that that was like the thing to do. Everyone was playing it, you know, your friends and stuff. And it was just, you know, one of the few places that you could actually communicate with people through the internet online. You know, this was back in the modem or in the, you know, dial-up days and stuff like that. That was like a fun thing, but oh my goodness, this map is actually horrendous so far, but I think it's actually a good thing for us. So we didn't find anything over there. This should be the waypoint. Yes. Very nice. Necromancer the Crusader was year 2. Oh yes, I forgot. I did play the Necromancer. I like that class too. I played Witch Doctor as my main, and then when Reaper of Souls, like the Necromancer expansion pack came out, I got the Necromancer, and I did play the Necro. I liked him too. So yeah, I only had 2 classes that I enjoyed and I played like regularly. Witch Doctor and Necro. I was actually quite big on the forums, but I'm not going to tell you who I am. On the Diablo 3 forums, and I did a lot of the Witch Doctor testing, but I was not called Sir Jables. I was kind of like, not undercover, but I was lesser known, but kind of like a tester slash theory crafter that I like lent for that. Hey, 3 open socket again. Alright, so now from the waypoint we should go to the right. This can be a long trip. Wait, where are we going? Oh, it's an inside map? What in the malarkey is this? Wait, what? Do you see this, Z? Look at this map. So the waypoint is here, and from the waypoint, the exit should be to the right, right? So look at this. We searched the whole map, and the only place we did not go is the middle. Oh, this is a horrible map. I mean, I guess it's not horrible if you're going to teleport into it. Here, let's see. We walk here. We teleport twice. I guess. It's not the worst. If you have teleport. If you don't, I wish it was a different way. Okay, but this is nice. This is nice. Players 8. Let's do this. Dario should literally pop open because she's weak to fire. But anyways, let's get back to Diablo 3. And then, I don't know, I also felt like, you know, they didn't give us more enough stash to, like, keep, you know, nice different gears. And I just felt like it was a little bit too easy, like, at a certain point. With all the primals and stuff, I don't know if you played, like, when that happened. But, you know, you could get the gear quite, I don't know, almost like just too quickly. Hey, look! That's your 3 open socket. Oh my gosh, come on. Die, you guys. I hate the resurrecting peeps. What is this? Whoa, look at these boots. Might just keep them as a trophy item. I need to sift through some of my trophy items. Boots.
Good to see you.
Repair. Sell. Check for any nice loot. But yeah, it was exciting, like, I guess, and then people, I felt like maybe it was like a little bit too much. Like I didn't like the system where you used a legendary gem that you leveled, right, doing greater rifts, and then you would get your wanted stat on an item. What was that called? It was like you put yeah, D3 was fun in its own way. just like D4 was, or just like what was? D3 was fun in its own way, just like as D3. I think you typed it in wrong accidentally. As D2. Yeah. Exactly. But I remember like the augmentation. That's what it was called. You augmented your gear, and you sacrificed a legendary gem that you've been leveling up, right? Okay, that's fine. But then my you know, like, what is that called? My like beef with them was about, what if you salvage that item later, right? You don't get anything back. I mean, you had to invest so much time just to augment one piece of gear, unless if you like had a 4-party, right? Like a 4-party member, like designated group for GR playing and stuff like that. But yeah, I was kind of like pissed off. I'm like, man, guys, you should at least return, let's say, I don't know, 50% of the augmentation that I gave. So if I leveled something to level 100, give me at least a level 50 back, so I don't have to redo this whole grind, or give me like 3/4 back, 75% back, or stuff like that. Or like they introduced so many new things, yet they didn't expand the stash space much more or anything like that. I was a little bit salty about that. And then I kind of just phased out, and I preferred Diablo 2. I'm like, man, Diablo 2 was just, it hit the spot differently, I liked it a lot more. Oh gosh, and we forgot about this, of course. Yeah. And then like I said, I did try Diablo 4, and I just think that they started to change things too much. This, like, the craziness that I saw some streamers do, like with their builds, I'm like, dude, this is crazy. This is pointless. Why are we doing trillions of damage and billions of damage? Why can't we go back to the good old days of like Diablo 2 doing, 10,000 like as a max, or like, you know what I mean, or 12,000? Like, that's high enough, man. Just scale everything down, make it more intricate, and like, don't go crazy. And well, they didn't do that. So, but anyways, enough of that. We are at Endariel, and by the way, Z, so this is kind of like in a YouTube format. I like to, I want people to be able to enjoy it as a kind of like a playthrough journey. So after Act 1, I am gonna end the video, just so you know, and then I might just hop on later for like some more like Diablo, or like Act 2 and 3 and stuff like that. But anyways, YouTube people, still fun. The only thing about Diablo 3 I didn't care too much for was the cartoonish look. Yeah, I guess. But they did a great job with the animations. I feel like everything actually made sense. The cartoonish look was bad, but like even like the little grotesques, like those little big fat blobs of things that like when they exploded the worms came out. Like all of their attacks were so like iconic. Like everybody knew what they were gonna do. They were gonna knock you back accidentally or whatever. Everybody knew they were gonna explode. Like the animations and all that stuff. That was actually really good. Better than D4, man. I would say almost yes. Like they... Oh, you'll sub? Yeah, I totally forgot even to try to convince you, man. I'm just not used to convincing people to hit the sub button or whatever, or like the video. What was I gonna say? But yeah, that cartoonish look, although it was there, it was actually really well done. And I don't know, all those attack speed breakpoints, like, again, I did a lot of behind the scenes, like, witch doctor testing, because there was a huge, like, debacle with the minions, with, like, the summons that they had, and, like, their attack speed versus yours, like, what would benefit them and not. And the attack speed breakpoints and the animations that occurred were actually so precise, it was kind of crazy. Yeah, I know, dude. That would be insane. Oh. Yeah. Could you imagine what D3 would look like with D2's graphics? That's hilarious. Oh my goodness. Alright, we have to finish this, man. It's been an hour and 47 minutes. We gotta kill Dario, boys. Let's go in here. Players 8 and Dario. Let's go. Oh. Oh. She's a little dinky girl. But still, players 8. I mean, make sure you keep an eye on. Ah, Jose, don't you die, buddy. Don't you die. There we go. Whoa, we have to sift through all of that? Come on, Andy. Let's see what we got. Oh yeah, we have to freaking put stuff away. Gosh darn it. But congratulations, everybody. Give yourself a pat on the back. You have successfully beaten Act 1 in Nightmare. Woohoo! Let's put this bad boy away. And let's go check out the loot. Oh, and we leveled up. Nice. More vitality. Let's see. We got a giant sword. Hey, look! This is what you need, my man. Look at this, Z. A unique giant sword. Kinemil's All. It sucks that it's two-handed only. But take a look at that, man. Level 23. It is a normal item, but it gives 6 to Holy Fire. That probably smacks. Unfortunately, you lose out on the shield, you know? But who cares? You're Thorns. Close to the end yourself? Of what? Of Act 1? Or normal difficulty Act 5? Or Nightmare? Or yeah, hold on. Did you say where you were? I know. Let's see. I don't know if you said if you were like in normal or Nightmare or whatnot. But yeah, this would be for you. What else did you drop? Short battle bow. What is this? Piercing attack. Let's see how much piercing it gives. 25%. Ooh, not enough. You got a two-handed hammer? Nice. Yeah, Act 1. Very nice, my friend. By the way, Edge. This is what I was going to talk to you about, my man. Let me explain something. Unfortunate. Anyway, she did not drop anything good. But before we go, I need to explain to my man Zio here something. When I mentioned earlier that there were some other options when it comes to a Thorns Paladin, because the Paladin, since he has all those what's it called, auras that he provides himself, you can do some pretty gnarly and interesting combinations when it comes to Mercenary and you. So take a look at what the Edge rune word is. Now this is probably, you would Tirtal Amn. You could, yeah, you would probably have to wait till Nightmare to try this. Nightmare Act 1. But take a look. If you find a 3 open socket bow, a white bow, obviously, a gray bow, you could make this, which is called Edge, Tirtal Amn, and you could put this on a Act 1 Mercenary, and look what it says, level 15 Thorns Aura. Which is pretty, like, I mean, it's almost max. As you know, and I don't know, I don't think Thorns Aura has synergies, does it? Maybe it does, I might be wrong. But if it doesn't have synergies, if you give this to an Act 1 Mercenary, well, you have Thorns, and you can worry about using another aura for yourself. Give yourself Fanaticism, let's say, to attack faster. Give yourself, I don't know, Sanctuary for the undead and demons. Give yourself, what's another good one? conviction, you know, if you want to do whatever. By the way, if you're in Act 1, you should go into Zeal and just put 1 point into it. I think there's one prerequisite of sacrifice, right? And then at level 12, put 1 point into Zeal, and don't even put more into there so that you don't get like kind of locked into the animation. So that's what I usually even do, so that you could hit 2 times quickly or like 3 times quickly and then walk away instead. Zeal is, by the way, very good. I don't know if you already did that, but just a reminder. This is a cool weapon to put on. Alternatively, once you get into Nightmare, my man, you can actually hire an Act 2 mercenary, but it has to be in Nightmare or Hell, Nightmare or Hell. And those guys also give Thorns aura. So that means that you don't have to give your Thorns aura. You could have them give Thorns aura. Or vice versa. Or give them your Thorns aura and get an aura that you would want them to use for yourself. Like a prayer for the healing, Holy Freeze. But Holy Freeze will actually make them take less damage because they hit you less, right? Might. You know, you could flip and flop. I don't know how else to say it, but you could flip flop around, you know, different combinations. Act 1 mercenaries with things like this. Obviously, you would lose insight eventually. And by the way, this is the popular insight. I hope you know about this. If not, then here's where you should learn about this. It is 4 open socket pole arms or bows. And it's Ral, Tyr, Tal, Soul, and it gives a meditation aura, which regenerates your mana incredibly fast. Kind of makes you not need mana potions, which is also very nice. But those kinds of weapons with 4 sockets only start dropping in Nightmare, so you have a ways to go, my brother. But, you know, if you want, right? Just for your information, that's out there. Haven't got too far with you, Paladin. Yeah, just hold point till I see something. Exactly. Hold point, man. That's right. Let's see, how's that res? Technically, yeah. But anyways, we are done with Act 1. We killed Andariel in Nightmare, that is. So this is not normal like how you are there, Z. This is the Nightmare difficulty. But this is a great place to farm over and over. Nightmare and Andariel is actually probably one of the best sources to find your first Stone of Jordan. I haven't even found a Stone of Jordan on my single player. And why is that, Jables? Because I have not farmed enough Nightmare and Andariel. But she has the highest drop rate chance. Helen Andariel has a slightly worse chance of dropping Stone of Jordan, but that is an amazing ring. You could find amazing gear off of Nightmare and Andariel, so just get yourself a nice map, and if you don't like your current maps, it's not too late. Just save and exit, go into normal difficulty, save and exit once more, and then go back to Nightmare difficulty, and your maps will reset in both normal and Nightmare, and you get to try again. And if you don't like them again, reset your maps again. Get a nice map so you can go to the right from Catacombs level 2, go down Catacombs level 3, and then hopefully that distance is also nice to get to level 4 and kill Andariel over and over, as high of a player's count as you can, as long as it's efficient enough. Like if I went again to kill Andariel, based on how long it took me to kill her this time, it was a little too long. Oh, 1 second. Quick phone call, but I'm gonna ignore it. Sorry about that. What was I saying? I got interrupted by a phone call. But yeah, farming. Oh yeah, that my kill of players 8 and Andariel took longer than I wanted it. And in general, I had to give Hazade here 2 full rejuve potions, which is unacceptable. I would just run out of full rejuves if I kept doing that over and over. So the next time I would fight her, I would try players maybe 5. And if that was good enough that I didn't have to heal Hazade at all, then I would stick there. If it was a little too much, I would go down to players 3. And that's at probably as low as I would want to go, because I don't want to kill any bosses on players 1. Players 3 has such a significant boost and jump between getting extra items and not getting extra items, or their just chance to drop, that players 1 is kind of sad, a sad way to farm. But players 3 is my favorite kind of sweet spot. Now, if you could do players 7, go for it, obviously. Or if you could do players 5, go for it. But players 5 is kind of like a whatever zone. So players 3, I almost wouldn't even go players 5. But I will try it one time. And if I like players 5, if it's fast enough, then I'll stick there. If not, I'll go down to players 3 and farm Nightmare and Dariel over and over until I get a whole bunch of nice stuff. Also, I would farm Nightmare Countess. Again, get your Io runes, get your Shale. You want to get Shale, Eld. A bunch of Ios would be nice, because remember, you might want to make a few of these. There's different types. There's Cure, okay, with a Tal rune. There's, where's the other one? There's Cure with the Tal rune. There's one for the Ral rune, so that's 2. That gives heavy fire res. That one's not that great, but if someone's suffering from fire res, then do that. There's one for lightning res. Also doesn't have any special aura or anything attached to it, but that's if someone's suffering from lightning res. Not too great. But the poison one is nice. That cleansing aura is huge. The Thol would give you the cold one, which cannot be frozen, which is great. And then Soul will give you the physical one, which is Bulwark, which will give a great helmet for your mercenary. And see, I'm still rocking it, and I'm not going to change this probably up until I hit level 66, or my mercenary does at least, for him to use Tal's mask, which bumps his lifesteal by double, right? So get yourself a bunch of Ios, and at that point you might as well just cube them up to get a Ko, right? That would require how many Ios? 4 Ios? 4 Ios will give you a Ko, because 4 Io runes gives you 2 Lum runes, and 2 Lum runes gives you 1 Ko rune. So very doable. Get yourself a hustle. This is such a great. This is one of my favorite new rune words. Actually, you could put this in a weapon or into an armor. The weapon has slight differences. It has fanaticism aura and a burst of speed chance, which I would not recommend because you have your own burst of speed. So in an armor for an assassin is dope. Right. What else can you farm here in Andariel? See, you could get way better rings than I do. You could get a way better amulet than I have. You could literally farm Hell Andariel, get yourself, let's see. Again, I have these things. It's just that I'm not willing to wear them because I want to feel authentic of what it would be like, right? Now, some of the hand-me-downs, yes, I guess I went a little too far, but I'm like, why gather and hold on to things that I want to throw away anyway? But look, you cannot get yourself these things yet. But for amulets, you can get yourself, let's see, a Nokazin, great. Mahimok, great. Cat's Eye you cannot get yet, I don't think, from Nightmare and Dariel. But you can get yourself an Eye of Atlich, I think. That's +1 to skills, to all skills. Or you could just find yourself, an amulet like this. She's notorious for dropping jewelry, and good jewelry at that. So Don't hit the snooze button on Nightmare and Dario. She's great. Anyways, that's gonna be it. Oh, here's a note. That's gonna be it for this stream. I hope you guys enjoy farming Nightmare Countess and Nightmare and Dario for some great upgrades. Also, just farm all over so you could get your 4 open socket pole arms or bows, your 3 open socket helmets. Those will greatly help with all your runeward creations. Shop at Charcy, and get ready for the next big, tier, which is going to be Nightmare Mephisto. That is why our next stream we are going to combine Act 2 and 3, because there's like that big threshold jump that Nightmare Mephisto provides when it comes to his drop table and what he's able to drop for us. Which, hint hint, there's like a foreshadowing, he can drop all the class specific items. So for example, for the Druid, Jalal's Mane, which is the pelt, which is like best in slot. The Barbarian has a unique helmet as well, also best in slot in most cases. Homunculus for Necro, all of those level 42 class specific items are amazing. And what Nightmare Mephisto will be able to drop is this guy, Bartux. Look at the stats right there. 2 to all skills, fast hit recovery, and strength and dexterity. This allows you, if you would want, to actually do physical damage on top of your traps, or if you ever do a martial arts assassin, this is what he will drop you. But if you prefer this over spirit, you could run this. You could run 2 of these if you want. And since technically, maybe you can't find a monarch until hell, right? You could run 2 of these, get yourselves 2 of these in Nightmare Mephisto, and get 4 to all skills. I mean, how great is that? I haven't used them. Oh, let's see. Hold on. Sorry, I have not seen. I used them. Yeah, so I'm 60. Yeah. Until next time, man. Act 3. Oh yeah. Don't make that face, man. Everybody hates Act 3. A lot of people also don't like Act 2, but yeah, Act 3 is. Yeah. The next stream is gonna be Act 2 and 3 combined, so that then you guys can, on your own time farm Nightmare Mephisto. But anyways, everybody, good luck out there. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this, give it a thumbs up, like the video. If you have questions or suggestions, or you just want to chat and be part of the community, comment things in the comment section. And don't forget to subscribe. It's completely free and it helps me out. And I will see you guys next time. Until then, see you later, everybody. See you later, YouTube. Nice to meet you, Z. Project Z. And see you guys next time. See you later, guys. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.